What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me all right? Cool, cool. Thanks. Alright, so like I said, I'm probably gonna be eating in front of you. I'm very hungry. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Is Grace here, or did she abandon us? Alright, so we saw a lot of things going on. Actually, let's look at coin market cap. I haven't even looked at that yet. Yeah, of course, Ripple. Yeah, I saw Stellar Lumens is also another one doing very well. Cardano's doing pretty good. Alright, so yeah, generally we're pretty up today. Everything is doing like fantastic except Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just kind of, I mean, we got out of this bear pull bear flag over here, but we're in a much larger bear pull bear flag right over here. So that's why it's a little we're also still in this channel. Okay, and inside this channel looks like we could be making an ascending wedge. It's a bearish reversal pattern. Gotta see if we can break that. So we'll generally probably stay around this area over here. Okay, our MACD still looking pretty good. I thought that we would cross over down here, but we did not, so that's good. RSI also looks good. On the hourly, yeah, we're still in this same channel. So something that's worth noting for Bitcoin, on the hourly, we try to break through this resistance over here about 6 times, and we finally broke it, and now it looks like it wants to act as support on the hourly. For Litecoin, let me take a look. So let's take a look on the daily first. Alright, so it looks like we kind of double bottomed here, but we made a slightly higher high. Litecoin's looking pretty good. I think that if Bitcoin continues to do good, then Litecoin will outperform it. Volume is increasing, so that's a good sign on the daily. Let's see now. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it, Justin. I mean, generally, yeah, Litecoin is in a downtrend, same as Bitcoin, but look over here. We have a low here, and then we have a lower low, some bullish divergence here. It looks like Litecoin is ready to start moving up. We gotta look at smaller time frames though, see if we can confirm that. We kind of double topped on the RSI right here. Maybe we went slightly higher. It's a little curve, but it's okay. Thanks. Change some of the settings on the fibs. It's better for the longer trends and not really the shorter ones. So right here on the daily, looking at some trends for the MACD, we have here we have MACD bullish divergence. We have a low here, and then we have a lower low over here. We have our low, and then we have a higher low. So that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. We have our top for Litecoin right around this area for the MACD. This is something, maybe a sort of target that we can get for Litecoin. Litecoin's curving up, no longer curving down. We could see a potential breakout probably by next week. A good buy signal right here going over the 0 line. Take a look at the 4 hours. Can get rid of. Okay. I gotta make a bunch of Litecoin charts like I do for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll do that later though. Okay, so this was our last point of resistance for Litecoin. We broke through it. Or was that? That was 57.45. We're kind of double topping there. We're gonna see if we can keep the momentum going. We have the MACD going, I'm sorry, the lines of the MACD going over the 0 line. That's a bullish signal right there. I want to see if we can go a little bit lower before continue to go more on the upside for that. So right here we did break this trend. We had some more bullish no, that's not bullish divergence. Sorry, that's just a low with a higher low right there. So right now Litecoin is starting to make higher lows, not so much as a higher high. As soon as we can break this high right here, then I think things will look much better for Litecoin. The thing about the RSI is, yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the 4 hour, the head and shoulders right here, the RSI reaching the oversold area doesn't necessarily mean that this is oversold. It's called the relative strength index. So when we're in the oversold area, it means that there's more strength to the upside. That's why we get these divergences. You gotta watch for these before you think that it's, you know, gonna change trends or get a reversal. So that's why sometimes when you buy, when you sell, the price will still keep going up because there's still strength in price action. I mean, I can't really tell you when to buy. To me, this looks good, but you can get another confirmation just, you know, like maybe going over this high or going over the 200 MA in general would be very good. Grace, let me know how you like the mic. You're the only one that complained about it, so I got a mic. There you go. Let me know how it sounds. Exactly. So when we're in a bull market, the relative strength index will generally stay around the top area, and it'll keep making new highs. New highs like, let's take a look at something that's like mega bullish. 8 out of 10. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Like for instance, over here, it's saying that we're like oversold, but we keep going higher, right? Oh, 9 out of 10, even better. Like other YouTubers, thanks. It's exactly what I want to be like. Alright, so over here, you see that how we're technically extremely oversold. We did have a very slight pullback, but we kept making newer highs. We kept going, because the strength in you know, momentum, the strength in this trend is just more towards the upside. That's how RSI works. It's not really this is oversold, good chance it'll drop. Doesn't exactly work that way. 2, 3, okay. So yeah, we were looking at Litecoin. I lost it. There you are. Oversold or overbought. I mean, it doesn't really tell you if a certain thing is actually oversold or overbought. It just means that there's strength in the buying side and there's strength in the selling side. Okay. Sorry if I like answer your questions late, because the stream is usually about like 20 to 30 seconds behind. So whatever you're typing is live, and then whatever I'm responding is like 30 seconds behind. Okay. So Litecoin in general is looking much better than it was, but everything is looking much better. If time goes up and the price stays the same, yeah. Okay. So, I wonder. Let's take a look at this. What do you guys think? Head and shoulders pattern? Inverted head and shoulders, what I mean? It's kind of curving, kind of slanted for this one. See? This would be a good confirmation. Like I said, going above this high, great confirmation that we're going to go to new highs. Right there. Okay? That's on the 4 hour. And yeah, it's still looking bullish. So let's move back to Bitcoin. Right? Okay. So when it comes to Bitcoin, we had this massive, you know, sell-off period, right? And then when we started to retrace, we barely got through the first fib line. We made it to our second, but we haven't gotten past the second one. Okay? Bitcoin can still go up, but still be bearish until maybe we pass the 0.618 line for the fib channel. Not fib channel, the fib line. Okay? What I want to see for Bitcoin is on the 4 hour, MACD, maybe go up a little more, cross down, and then make a bullish crossover while we're above the 0 line. That would be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. That would be great for Bitcoin. We have to see how our trends hold though, because eventually our trend is gonna start pointing down, and we're gonna need, you know, we're gonna need a second. Sweet. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe too. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'm gonna be doing this every single day. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want me to look at anything, feel free to ask. I will definitely get to it. Okay. It's the 15-minute for Bitcoin. So this kind of rise was obviously very unexpected. There wasn't really a whole lot indicating that we were gonna go up. I really thought that we were gonna keep going down. It wasn't until, you know, XRP kept making new highs where everything was like, okay guys, it's time to go up. Everything just started going up after that. Right here we have a bit of bearish divergence. We have higher highs, slightly higher high up here. The RSI is going a little lower on the 15-minute. Okay, I don't know if any of you are 15-minute traders, but like these aren't as reliable as, you know, larger time frames. Hey, I barely remember. people rarely get them. I mean, the only real indication that we had that we were going up was a slight increase in volume on the 15-minute. Other than that, there really wasn't much going for it. You know, we didn't break this trend until we shot up. Other than that, we have to see if we'll break the trend again right here, see if we'll catch some support and keep going up, or if we'll keep going down. So that's something to look forward to. On the hourly, like I said, we're still in the same channel. Nothing really new for Bitcoin. The only main notable thing that I would mention is that we finally broke this resistance that we've had 6 rejections at for the RSI. Thank you for subscribing. My stream is supposed to do stuff when you guys subscribe. Why isn't it doing it? That's not how it's supposed to be. Give me 1 second to fix something. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. On. Steam just updated, so it's like super slow, but hold on. Subscribers. It keeps changing my defaults. Still didn't change it. Sorry, I'm gonna need a minute for this. Yes.
Italic, italic, impress. Italic,
Still getting used
impress.
to OBS. Haven't quite gotten there yet. Let's see if it works now. There we go. It's supposed to show Vitalik being impressed when you guys subscribe to my channel. So be sure to keep doing it. Alright, let's get back to Bitcoin. Ripple is definitely moving. I think Ripple is really what's leading the market right now, because everything wasn't doing that great until Ripple's first jump, and I think people just realized that cryptocurrencies exist. Alright, let's take a look at Ripple being the most popular thing right now. Here, take a look at the RSI. We have bearish divergence, a very small one, right? Oh yeah, well I mean, I guess in this case a very large one. So this is what I mean when it comes to relative strength index. Because we're up here does not mean that we can't go any higher. Right now there's a lot of strength from up here until there's a confirmed lower high for the RSI and for price action. Then we can, you know, we can keep assuming that's gonna go up. Ripple, I mean, it might, it could. Anything can dump hard. Bitcoin can dump hard. If Bitcoin dumps hard, usually everything follows. But Ripple has been doing its own thing. Even though Bitcoin dumped, like around here, it stayed stagnant. It was the only thing that was going up. It was going up very slightly, but it was over here. You can tell that it was just slowly building its volume from literally nothing to, you know, where we are right now. This is where people started to get in very, very quietly. More volume. All right. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, cool. All right, thanks for joining, by the way. All right, what do you guys want me to look at? Ethereum? Have we looked at Ethereum? No, right? I'm gonna assume we didn't. Okay, so this we can take away. Ethereum's obviously doing a lot better than Bitcoin. Has a bit of a double top right here on the 1 hour. Momentum was slowing down until Bitcoin started going up. See, this is why it's important to pay attention to volume. Before it shot up, I started seeing volume increase from literally nothing right here to over here. It was very slight, but that kind of told us that Ethereum was going to do something. It's probably because I'm not talking like right into it, because it's facing the other screen. Hold on. Alright. I hope that's better. Great, okay. So for Ethereum, it's pretty much the same case, except this one, this one's a little more obvious, and this has been forming for a while already. We haven't had to adjust it or anything. It kind of found a bottom. At the bottom of this wedge, started going up when Bitcoin started going up. Shorting here was obviously higher risk. If you're gonna look for shorts, this is definitely the area to do it. You know, and then keep your stop loss probably like above that 200 MA. I mean, that's just what I would do. But generally speaking, even though it hit the bottom of this wedge, it's not necessarily a good idea to go long, because we are in a bear market. We have a better chance of making money when these things go down rather than it going up, right? Alright, that's good to know. I can't do anything about my computer fans going off for the mic. I gotta find a way to quiet that down. I'll figure it out though. I know there's some background noise, or maybe add some music. I wanted to add music, but I gotta figure out how to put something that doesn't violate copyright infringements or whatever. I'm sure there's like a list somewhere that I could find. Alright, does anyone want me to look at anything or talk about anything specific? Feel free to comment. Water cooling. That would be cool. It's a lot of work though, but if I have the time, I'll do it. I'm mining now. I'm not mining here. Definitely not here. Yeah, no copyright infringements for that. Oh, win Lambo, December. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. on the daily. I was asking some people about this yesterday, what they see, reversal or continuation to the downside, or maybe both. Let's find out. Litecoin daily. I think I did look at Litecoin daily, but I will look at it again. Only because you made the time to grace us with your presence. Grace. You don't have to watch anymore. I understand if you stop watching because I said that. It's most likely a pump and dump vibe. What's up, guys? Hey, Dennis. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. All right, so for Litecoin, I see a bit of an inverse head and shoulders. Over here, let's look back. Great.
Vitalik, impressed.
All right, Vitalik started clapping. It's very good. He's very impressed. Thank you for the subscribe. Alright, so like I said, we have this acting as our resistance for Litecoin on the daily. Let's go back a little more. This goes back to our December, February, January highs, if it wants to load. Okay, so let's see. I said earlier for Litecoin we had a low here and then we got a higher low, which is good, but we have yet to make a higher high. Looking to see if we can break our previous high. Let me get rid of this for now. Looking to see if we can break this. Breaking this would be fantastic for Litecoin. Okay?
Vitalik,
Thanks for the sub.
impressed.
Why did I go to the 4 hour? I did not mean to do that. It's like the most viewers I've ever had. Okay, so over here, for Litecoin on the MACD, on our longer term MACD, we have a double top. So this right here is the spot to break. If we can break that, then there will be a heavy flush of momentum to the upside. Okay, and it just so happens to be on the zero line, which is great. It's fantastic. Great. Okay, so it's stuck in this trend. It looks like an ascending triangle, but it can kind of vary for the MACD because different highs and different lows. But over here for this trend, you can see that on the daily, there's bullish divergence. We have a low here. It's a low on the MACD. It's our lowest low on the MACD, and then we have a higher low on the MACD, and then we have a lower low. So this right here is telling me that the sell side momentum is starting to slow down. Okay, that's a good thing. So as soon as we start making these higher lows in actual price action, then we can see Litecoin cross over to the bullish side. Cool. What else, guys? What else do you want to look at? Oh, give me a second. Alright, let's take a look at Ethereum Classic. Yes, please put your request over here in the comments and I will get to it. You asked me about Vibe. It's most likely a pump and dump first. Let me look at it. I've heard about it, but I haven't actually looked at it. Is it this one with an E at the end? Instead of Litecoin. Oh, you want okay. All right. Let's get to, you know what? Yeah, Grace US first. So low market caps are usually going to be pump and dumps. Okay. Low market cap, 17 million. It's already, you know, not really much going on there. Okay. Where is finance? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Litecoin for the Bitcoin chart. And Ethereum Classic right after. Okay. Wow, okay, well, that obviously does not look good. Let me get something with more price history. Okay, that's probably better. Great. Okay. Just put that away for now. Alright, so what do we have? We have, okay, on the RSI, we have Litecoin, we have huge bullish divergence. Okay, we keep making lower lows in price action, but we bottomed out over here on the RSI. Okay. And then we started making a higher high. So it looks like Litecoin to me is ready to start moving up. We can get a confirmation as soon as we break this high right here. Breaking this would mean that Litecoin is ready to make a move. Let's just extend this there for later, see if we can keep catching support here. But yeah, this is what we want to break. Just looking at the RSI alone. Looking at the MACD. Alright, we have that trend going on there. We have a double bottom right here. Some support going on. This is support for a future trend, by the way. It's not support like right now. Okay. We have another double bottom right here. Yeah, that was our final bottom before price actually started to make a higher low. Okay, so we want this trend to keep going up. Okay, that doesn't work. We want this one right here. Okay, what I'm drawing here are just trend lines for our MACD momentum. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, over here we had a double top as well. This was like mega bearish for Litecoin. I don't really look at Litecoin very much, but there were a lot of short opportunities for Litecoin. Over here, yeah, I think we're ready to get out of this. Okay, unless we go under this, I think that Litecoin can continue, well, start making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, not just that, actually, this one right here, this would be our next point of support for the long-term MACD, which just so happens to be our lowest low, and we have this long wick. Tough. Yeah, it's a bit of a reversal candle. This is XRP. Cool. Let's look at shorter time frames. The wrong one. Oops. It's a good trend. Look, we have a pennant forming right here. See, I think we just broke it actually. Yeah, we might have just broken it. Okay. Yeah. Breaking this was good. Let's see if we can keep going up from there. Okay, so trends on the 4 hour. Okay, this right here matches. It's perfect, okay? So we can follow this trend. We have a double top right here, but we broke it already. MACD is currently going over the 0 line. This right here is a buy signal. Hopefully we can get some more continuation. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Justin. It's usually better to wait for a retrace, but you know, with things like XRP, we didn't really get that, did we? So, I mean, if you can see, our indicators showed what price action was showing, which is great. Okay, it didn't start till we got around here. We have a double bottom on the R side, but we got a lower low right here. Oops. And then we started going up a little bit. Okay. So, I mean, everything looks good because Bitcoin has been doing a little better, but I think it's still too early to tell. Did it retrace? On what time frame? Let's look at the hour. Yeah, it did. I actually found it got knocked down from the top of it right there. But like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to crash, because right now we have the volume, we have the price action, we have everything looking good right now. It could, you know, get a retrace. Common retrace points would be up to the 0.5, maybe this one. Okay. Ethereum Classic, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Let's look at Bitfinex. Okay, so with the whole Coinbase news, Ethereum Classic hasn't suffered like other coins did. It's on the hourly, actually. Let me get rid of that. Look at the 4 hours. Perfect. Alright, volume for Ethereum Classic does not look very good. What do you mean by overall crypto philosophy? Like, what do I think about crypto? Is it good? Do I think it's gonna change the world? What do you mean by that? What probably happened with XRP is there were probably a lot of leverage shorts that because XRP was kind of hanging and the only cryptocurrency that wasn't going down when everything else crashed, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and literally everything else around it was crashing. People sort of assumed that XRP would be next. They started shorting XRP, and then little by little, people kept buying into it, increasing the volume, and eventually, when somebody decided to make XRP rise, it forced a lot of those shorts to cover themselves by closing, and when that happens, it'll automatically buy. When you're shorting, you have to buy back what you were shorting, but at a much higher price, which caused XRP price to rise even more. That's one theory. So, all right. So back to this. Volume doesn't look too great. I think that a lot of this was riding on the Coinbase hype, while everything else wasn't doing very well. So right here we have double bottom for price action. That's good. Okay. We have our low. It's a double bottom for RSI as well. Right. Okay, we started making higher lows, so this is kind of the trend that we want to stay on. We have a descending broadening wedge that we are still in. Okay. Well, kind of, yeah, we haven't really made any new lows with this double bottom. I think we can just leave it right there. I think there's a lot of, oh, this is for USD. Did you mean USD or did you want Bitcoin? Who's the guy that asked? I'm just gonna assume we want the BTC one, right? My 3 favorite altcoins. Oof. My 3 favorite altcoins. It would have to be Cardano, Icon, and for the third one, I don't really have a favorite third one. I just like the ideas behind them. But altcoins aren't doing very well right now. Alright, so back to this. Let me get back. I don't think I have a third favorite. I just pretty much like those two in Bitcoin. Neo is pretty cool. I used to like Neo a lot. But I mean, most altcoins are the same. Favorite 3 to trade. I mean, I use BitMEX now, so I pretty much trade Ethereum, Tron, and Cardano, but that's, I mean, you're not really holding any of that, right? I trade anything that is available to me if it looks good. Alright, so same thing here. We have our double bottom. Oops. There we go. Do I have any positions? Yes. I have positions in Cardano, Icon. I have some in Electronium, in Bitcoin, in Neo as well. What else do I have? I mean, I'm holding a few. I just can't remember right now, I'm sorry. Huh. Okay. Not that one. So over here, it looks like we have a descending triangle for Ethereum Classic. It makes sense since a lot of price action was going on with hype around Coinbase. The thing about Cardano that excites me the most is the whole philosophy behind the work that they're doing. They're getting all these experts or people, that call themselves experts, people that actually put in the time to do this kind of research. They're not just, putting together just a couple developers. They're doing actual research on the philosophy of cryptocurrencies and putting it all together to try to make something but something that is better. I wouldn't say that it's better than Bitcoin because Cardano still has a long way to prove itself. A lot of people don't like staking, and that's what Cardano's going to be like. So we have to wait and see what comes out. But I think that what Charles Hoskinson is doing is, for cryptocurrencies in general, is a great thing. Okay, I think I'm more bullish on him than Cardano, really. Okay, so we have a trend going on. Watch to see if we break this trend. I do like the idea of staking, but I can understand why people would think it's more centralized, because you have to hold it in order to secure the network. But honestly, I think with centralization, with all these new altcoins coming out, it's a lot easier for these to be centralized. That's another thing that I have a problem with, altcoins in general. Just the whole aspect of centralization. I think Bitcoin is the most decentralized, but I think that a lot of people do own large amounts of Bitcoin that can, mess around with the market and stuff. I have to read up more on what Cardano's doing. I haven't really kept updated with what they're doing. Alright, so for Ethereum Classic, sorry about that, we got this bottom here, and we got an even lower low, but it's a double bottom here on MACD for our trend. Okay. Then we got an actual double bottom in price action. We have this descending triangle. Usually descending triangles have a better chance of it breaking to the downside than it does breaking to the upside. I mean, just watch to see if we can break our last area of resistance. That's pretty much what I would be watching for. See if this trend over here breaks. If it doesn't break, then that's obviously good for Ethereum Classic. But if we break this trend right here, then we're most likely going to go under this descending triangle for Ethereum Classic. Give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. I'm back. Here I am. What do you mean, new video? Why am I talking caps? Okay, so back to Ethereum Classic. So yes, if we break through this, it just so happens to be on the 0 line. Here's a good indicator. If our trend breaks this, we'll go above this and we'll be very bullish for Ethereum Classic. Cool. Let's get back to Bitcoin. What is it doing? So yes, it is finding here on the RSI. I want to see. We're live, yep, very live. I want to see if it'll catch support on this trend right here. If you're looking to get in, bouncing up on this would be very good for Bitcoin. But overall, we would have to go up a lot in order to be bullish on Bitcoin. Cool. Oh yeah, the 4 hour is very bearish. Overall, Bitcoin is very bearish. Okay. I haven't spent much time on Ethereum, but I'm just waiting to see if Ethereum can get any higher over here for a good opportunity on Ethereum. GRS, is that something you want me to look at? Never heard of that one. What is this? The volume is terrible. It just came out recently. I mean, there's really not much TA you can do on this. What is GRS? I've never heard of it. What is it supposed to do? Just got listed. Okay, no, let's move on. I mean, the privacy coin, first segue, low inflation. Okay. Alright. I mean, there's really not much around it. Let's look at the 4 hour. Oh, the good old days for Bitcoin. Okay. So we had this going down. It's more like a bull flag for this. Not really bearish. It's actually very bullish, actually. Lots of positive momentum going for it. We have, here it is, bearish divergence, right? Yes. That's a good sign for it. Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. Not terrible. Here you go. This is a point to watch. If we break down, we just finished breaking this resistance. It's a lot of volatility though. That's the only issue. Oh, you want me to look at Tron? Okay, I haven't looked at Tron in a long time. But yeah, there's really not much to go with this. It's looking alright for now. Definitely, you know, prices are just looking better overall than every other coin. Probably because it's new. Let's look at Tronics. Yes, it does. Bearish means dropped like a big brick. Okay, so Tron. That is Tron. Okay. You know what? Give me 1 second to really chart this out because I have not done so with this. Wrong one. Actually. Yeah. Let's do it from here. Alright, so you can see double top, huge downtrend. Found some support right here. It's a bit curved. We got our lowest low of the RSI right here, August 18th. Started making higher highs, and then we made a lower low, but we did make a higher high on RSI. This is good. Oh, it's the 200. Okay. The best coin to hide? I mean, if Bitcoin does bad, then everything is gonna do bad. There really isn't a safe haven or anything like that. You can go into Tether if you're not afraid of Tether, you know, exploding. You can go into US dollars. Pretty much anything that isn't crypto you can get into if Bitcoin is doing bad. Okay, so I have a little bit of it charted. Alright, so right here we can see that our previous support will most likely become resistance for the MACD. This trend, watch to see if we break this trend. It's kind of in an ascending triangle. It is very bullish, though. We had that we had a crossover right underneath the zero line, which is great. Let's see now. It's doing very well. This is a trend to watch. We went over the 200 MA. That is actually very good. Not a lot of coins have done that. We went over our previous high, which was this one. And this one. Well, we're kind of there right now, actually. watch for this. See if Tron, wait, there's no bearish divergence on Tron yet. I think that we can keep going up a little bit more, but watch Bitcoin for that. We were getting kind of stagnant around here, but we picked it back up pretty quickly. The reason why everything falls when Bitcoin falls is because when you buy into any cryptocurrency, whether it's Tron, Cardano, XRP, EOS, or whatever, you're going to buy Bitcoin first to buy into that cryptocurrency. That's why we have BTC to whatever crypto you want pairings. If things were bought more with fiat, then maybe that would change, but that's not happening. Alright, thank you for joining me. Okay. So, oh no, it's fine. You can ask any questions you want. It's not a stupid question. A lot of people don't realize this, but just because something's more advanced than Bitcoin doesn't necessarily mean that it can carry its own. Every cryptocurrency that you buy into, you're gonna buy into it with Bitcoin. You transfer Bitcoin to an exchange, and then you use that Bitcoin to buy into that cryptocurrency. So when Bitcoin falls, the value of other cryptocurrencies will also fall. But when Bitcoin rises, the value of those cryptocurrencies will also rise faster. Yeah, no problem. Anytime, ask anything you want. But yeah. That's why, but yeah, that's why, I mean, I don't really see that changing anytime soon. Maybe if something were to get a higher market cap than Bitcoin, but even if that were to happen, I still think people would still buy cryptocurrencies with Bitcoin. You know, the reason why ERC20 tokens are falling so much is because Ethereum itself is falling a lot of, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, all these ERC20 tokens that people bought Ethereum. People bought Ethereum to get into these ERC20 tokens. Ethereum falls, and these ERC20 tokens will also fall with it. Okay, that's just how it works. So when you're buying an ERC20 token, it's most likely pegged to Ethereum, and Ethereum is pegged to Bitcoin. Okay. I think in a previous video I explained that Ethereum was actually in two types of bubbles. Tron, no. I mean, it doesn't matter if coin is, you know, if it's on its own mainnet or if it's, you know, its own coin. Generally speaking, when you're buying into a coin, you're putting liquidity into Bitcoin first before you get into these coins, right? So I don't think there's any real way to buy Tron with US dollars. I can't think of any exchange that does that. So even though Tron has its own mainnet, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be its own, it's gonna be free of Bitcoin's you know, what's the word? It's not on its own. That's the point that I'm trying to say. Alright guys, do you want me to look at anything else before I get off? I have about 10 minutes left before I get off. Do you want me to look at Bitcoin again? I'll look at Bitcoin. So what are we doing on the hourly? Okay, so our previous resistance is support. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, okay, even if Coinbase were to add other cryptocurrencies on their platform, it still wouldn't. It would still be pegged against Bitcoin. You want me to look at Neo? Yeah. Best Buys tonight. I'm going to Best Buy. That's cool. Okay, so Neil, look at Neil. Just everything is pegged against Bitcoin. You can't get around it. Weekly Bitcoin log chart. Okay, let's look at the Bitcoin weekly chart first. Oh right, something I forgot to bring up that I mentioned earlier. One thing at a time, right? Here's Bitstamp. If any of you have ever seen a Bitcoin weekly chart, it is probably the most bullish thing you will see ever, aside from the S&P 500 and all those tech companies. So we see Bitcoin going up, having this cupping action, making new highs are almost near $20,000 from 2009 to now. Yeah, this is, I think, the oldest. I think Bitstamp is the oldest one, right? Or is it something else? Do I believe crypto will reset to almost no value? It could happen. Do I believe it's gonna happen anytime soon? Probably not. There's a lot of interest in, you know, people having the freedom to be able to do what they want with their money. CoinMarketCap. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Wait, can you look at CoinMarketCaps here? Can you? It's an index, right? Bitcoin. So as long as the demand for being able to put your money away without fear of government control, or really just anyone taking your money, then there's always going to be a demand for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general. I don't know where else to find an older Bitcoin chart. If you find it, just go ahead and paste it in the, copy and paste it in the chat so I can take a look at it. But I think a lot of altcoins will definitely go near zero. Nothing really ever truly goes to zero. Like BitConnect isn't at zero. It still exists. But Bitcoin ends, the world also ends. I don't know about that. Anything that would be a lot of speculation for, you know, Coinbase employees buying XRP. I don't even think Coinbase employees are allowed to trade crypto. I would think that they wouldn't be allowed, so they can't be, you know, blamed for insider trading. So yeah, anyway, this is the weekly Bitcoin chart, right? It looks very crazy, right? So I mean, people say we can't really go lower, but we still haven't touched the bottom. Do I think we're gonna touch the bottom? Probably not, of this Fib channel. I can't really, you know, tell into the future. I'll click on the block charts. Alright, give me a second, Grace. Yeah, BitConnect will rise and conquer the galaxy like it once did. Lock scale. So it goes to 2013. Yeah, it pretty much goes as far as Bitstamp does. A lot of exchanges go through maintenance and get away with a lot of weird things going on. Yeah, it looks, yeah. This looks extremely bullish, you know, when you look at Bitcoin from 2013. Same thing here. When you're looking at Bitcoin from, you know, the 2011 from $2 all the way to $20,000, it's amazing. You know, I'll meet people, you know, on the street, and I'll ask them about Bitcoin or something like that, and they'll say, "Oh, Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's going to zero," but like nothing, you know, like this, just looking at this, it's telling me that like this person doesn't know what they're talking about. This person bought Bitcoin when it was $20,000. That's why they think it's going to zero. Right now there isn't a lot of demand for Bitcoin, but in general, in the future, when people want to put their money away, when governments keep taking money away from people, Bitcoin will get more demand as our fiat currency starts to lose its value. Bitcoin will also grow in value, right? Exactly. So yes, extremely bullish on Bitcoin, very long term. You know, this really, I don't even think this is just the beginning of Bitcoin. I think we can go much higher personally, but obviously I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell you where it's going to go. I can only tell you where I think it's going tomorrow, maybe next week. You know, let's look at the weekly chart though. I haven't looked at that in a while. I haven't forgotten about Neo. I'll look at Neo in a second. But I did want to ask this. What do you guys think? Here, actually, I think I still have it saved. A US dollar Tether chart. Okay, whatever. Well, we'll just use this. Alright, so yeah, it does. Long term, we're long term bullish. We're extremely bullish long term. Bitcoin has gone up so much so fast over the past 9 years. Yeah, 9 years. Okay, so back to this. So what do you guys think? Are you guys familiar with descending wedges? Are you guys familiar with that at all? Because over here it looks like Bitcoin is forming some sort of reversal pattern, while at the very same time it's also forming a descending triangle, which I already said earlier is a very bearish indicator, right? There we go. Let's make it red. Okay, so what can happen is we fall through with this descending triangle. We make new all-time lows. We can bounce off of this, maybe bounce down again, and then eventually go through the reversal. This is complete speculation, by the way, so please keep that in mind. These are just two possibilities that can happen out of many possibilities. I would really like Bitcoin to break this either to the downside or upside. Right now, better chances of it falling to the downside just because of how bearish we've been. If we had more volume, which we're slowly gaining more volume. This is a tether one, by the way, so this isn't real. This is why I'm gonna take that off. Okay, cool. Fix that. There we go. So this is something that I want to see if it'll play out or not. We'll have to wait a few months. I think maybe by December we'll have our answer. By then we would have probably already fallen, you know, below this descent. We did kind of break below it over here, but it was more of a false breakout. Betraying the bears. See a head and shoulders. Well, right here. Could be. We gotta wait and see though. Oh, let me look at Neo before I get off, because I gotta get off soon. Let's look at Neo on Bitfinex. Have more price action. It's a possibility. A head and shoulders. Yes. But we won't know until it breaks down. But chances are it will break down, so that's why I'm very bearish. This is a huge drop right here. Like even, yeah, this is just as bad over here and over here. Just had it. Where'd it go? No, it's just right here. Yeah, Neo is not doing as good as everything else. I think it's one of the only coins not doing well. Is Bitcoin pumping right now? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Oh yeah, it is pumping. Take a look. Look at that. Bitcoin has now reached its previous RSI top right here. See if we can break that. If we break that, Bitcoin has, you know, a better case for being bullish. We want to pass this this fib line right here. Okay, we don't want to get rejected at it again. We got rejected twice already. We don't want to double top. That would be very bearish for Bitcoin. Okay, cool. Bounce off the support line. Look at the hourly. How's the hourly? It's already losing its value. A lot of long wicks. But we are getting support from our mega resistance we had over here, right? When do this hour? In like 15 or 12 minutes, this will close. Even if we do make a bit of a higher high, we will most likely get bearish convergence. It did, but it did not keep that value. We really want Bitcoin to, you know, get its value. Bitcoin still hasn't passed this channel that we have, the purple lines mixed with the blue line right there. There's still a good possibility that we will get an ascending wedge for Bitcoin. Some stuff here. Should probably take it off. So right now, this area of resistance that we had before is acting as support. It's this line right here. Let's do some trends. Okay, so let's get back to Neo. Look at shorts after Neo. Okay. Let's take a look at Neo. Great. Okay, so we have a low here. We have a lower low on the RSI for the MACD and price action. We were we're following this trend until we stop following. This is what a lot of altcoins are doing right now. They're on a very tight trend. Okay. We started making new highs, but we kind of made a slightly higher high right here. Very slightly. Double bottomed at our previous low. But overall, we do have a higher low than our previous low right here, so that's good. It means more people are buying this. Here, we can do a chant. So yes, Neo is in a channel going up. We have this broken trend. We have another broken trend right here. Actually, it kind of lagged a little bit. I think this trend right here will act as resistance unless, you know, said otherwise. We are crossing over, but we're still kind of far from the zero line. Let's look at the 4 hour. I think that'll tell us more. The important thing is that Neo is making higher highs and higher lows. That is the most important thing to look at. Okay. Still hasn't made, it's a very slightly higher low. Right here. Okay, we broke this. Probably our turning point for Neo. Broke this trend going on. Have to see if we'll go over these moving averages. We are getting some positive momentum for the MACD. We are doing a bullish crossover above the zero line. That's good. Our momentum is getting stronger. Let's see if we can keep that up. Okay, we got a bit of a hiccup there, but we kept going up. So this is a trend to follow. Breaking this trend would mean lower lows for Neo. It was kind of in a descending triangle, but we broke out of it bullishly. Right there. Broke out of it, so that's good. Oh, we want to look at volume. Let's take a look at volume. His volume increasing, that is a good factor. Okay, it's increased very slightly, and now we're going up with even less volume. That's not good. We want more volume, higher price action. Not less volume, higher price action. Let's see. No problem, man. Let's look at the hourly. See if we see anything else. gap. Oh, I kind of got filled actually. Never mind. Alright, I want to see Neo make a higher high than this one right here. Let's change this right there. Right there. That's what I want to see. I want to see us go above above this. Okay, our price action trend, our RSI trend matches, and you know what? Even our MACD trend matches. That's great. That's good. Okay, so watch for this break. A break in this will probably lead to more selling off for Neo on the hourly. If you're on the 4 hour, let me take a look at it again. I think the 4 hour is just crossing, so we'll probably just get a bounce off of it. We'll see though. Alright guys, I think that's it for me. I'm going to get off, but thank you so much for joining me. It was awesome. I will continue to do this more often. I'll try to get a schedule going, but for now, more or less around this time. And yes, thank you all for joining again. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Like the video so that other people